I used to believe that family was the one safety net in life that would never break, no matter how hard things got. But everything changed when I discovered that the people who raised me and grew up alongside me had quietly erased me from their lives. Seeing pictures of a massive family celebration online made my blood run cold, especially when I noticed my own face was completely absent from the frame. Before we dive deeper into how this betrayal unfolded, let me know in the comments where you are watching from today and what the weather is like in your city. If you enjoy dramatic family stories like this one, please hit the subscribe button to support the channel. It really helps us bring more incredible stories to life for you every single week. For as long as I could remember, I was always the person everyone called when they needed urgent help or emotional support. When my father was admitted to the hospital, I spent countless nights sleeping in an uncomfortable chair by his bedside. When my older brother Julian launched his first risky business attempt, I drained my savings account to help him secure his commercial location. I never tracked the money or demanded special recognition because I genuinely believed that looking out for each other was what defined our bond. So when I stared at my phone screen on a quiet morning, looking at photos of my parents, Julian, and all my relatives wearing fancy suits and dresses, I assumed there had been a simple communication error. The caption under the photograph claimed that they were gathering together to celebrate the bright new future of our family lineage. Those words created a heavy, nauseating ache in my chest because I realized nobody had even bothered to text me about the event. I immediately dialed my mother, hoping she would explain that my paper invitation had simply been misplaced in the postal delivery system. Instead of reassuring me, her voice sounded strangely detached and distant when she finally answered my frantic call. She let out a long sigh and told me that it was probably better for everyone involved that I remained absent from the gathering. When I asked her why she was treating her own daughter like a distant acquaintance, she coldly stated that family matters were complicated before hanging up on me. A short time later, my brother Julian sent me a brief text message warning me to stop asking uncomfortable questions and just move forward. Over the following days, every relative I attempted to contact gave me the exact same rehearsed excuse before quickly hanging up the receiver. It became terrifyingly obvious that they were not just holding a party without me, but actively hiding a massive secret from my sight. The strange mystery finally began to unravel when I received an unexpected phone call from a corporate legal representative named Mr. Vance. He explained that he had served as my late grandfather's personal legal counsel for over 20 years before his tragic passing. Mr. Vance informed me that my grandfather had left behind specific instructions regarding a sealed, confidential document that I needed to examine immediately. When I arrived at his downtown law office the following morning, the elderly attorney placed a thick yellow folder directly onto his mahogany desk. Inside was a handwritten letter from my grandfather, addressed specifically to me rather than my parents or my ambitious brother Julian. Reading his familiar handwriting brought back vivid memories of the quiet weekends I had spent sitting beside him in his sunlit library, while the rest of the family only visited my grandfather when they wanted financial favors. I had spent hours listening to his life stories. His letter revealed that he had carefully observed everyone during his final months, noting who genuinely cared for him and who merely wanted his money. He decided to transfer full legal control of his entire real estate and primary logistics business into a private trust for me. Mr. Vance explained that my family members had discovered the existence of this legal trust and were terrified of losing their financial power. They had organized the secret weekend gathering to finalize an illegal agreement between my brother Julian and my uncle Harrison to sell off company assets. They purposefully excluded me from the event because they believed my absence would prevent me from discovering their elaborate takeover scheme. My grandfather had anticipated their greed and left behind one final piece of evidence that would completely dismantle their unauthorized business plans. Mr. Vance retrieved a small digital audio recorder from his desk, safe, and pressed the playback button to reveal my grandfather's final recorded message. Listening to his frail yet resolute voice filled the quiet office, reinforcing his firm belief in my personal honesty and dedication to protecting his legacy. Armed with the original trust documents and the audio recording, I scheduled a surprise meeting at my parents' home where the whole family was gathering. When I walked into the living room alongside Mr. Vance, my Uncle Harrison immediately turned pale and tried to dismiss my presence as an unnecessary emotional outburst. But as the recorded message played across the room, the confident smiles vanished from my family's faces, replaced by utter shock and guilt. My brother Julian dropped his head in silence, while my mother began crying, claiming they never intended to cause me such deep emotional harm. I looked at them calmly and explained that their attempt to push me out of the family had only revealed their true motivations and deceptive nature. They had sacrificed our relationship for money, never suspecting that my grandfather had already secured my place as the rightful head of the estate. In the months that followed, I successfully assumed control of the family enterprise, reforming the internal policies to ensure complete transparency and fairness for all workers. While some relatives eventually offered sincere apologies, our relationships were permanently altered, teaching me that self-worth can never be granted or taken away by unsupportive family members. Being excluded from that guest list was painful, but it ultimately forced me to step out of their shadow and claim my true future. If you enjoyed this emotional journey, make sure to click the video on your end screens right now for another captivating story. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss our daily video releases.